Hello everyone, I am Boo, and today we are the Three Musketeers who are covering Age, the last 4 episodes of Age 1, in fact. And with me is Dingle and Zai.
Hello there.
Hello!
Yeah, unfortunately, our boy Smug has, well, the gypsies found him again, and they've thrown him in the back of a cart. He's having some issues escaping. It's fine.
There were too many of them. I couldn't hold them off.
And Anchor is, well, he's having a fun time riding his tricycle and is having a great time in the lovely, lovely streets of Glasgow, Scotland. It's a blast. It's the safest neighborhood in the entire country.
Little Anchor's very happy.
Little Anchor is very happy.
So this is all just a euphemism for like we sent the dog to the farm.
No. Right. So
Anchor's dead, guys.
So we're doing this a little bit differently this time around. We're gonna cover the first episode that we watched, and then we're gonna cover the last 3 episodes just kind of together as they come, because they are the last 3 episodes of the finale. We're not gonna go into the good and the bad specifically. We're just gonna do it all at once. We're doing it live. So, forget the episode number, but episode where Grodic is trying to leave that colony and Federation Chocolate Man is going, nah.
I believe it is episode 12.
Episode 12. Yeah.
Since I do not remember any of the episode titles, we are going to go with the first thing that comes to mind, which is
Chocolate
nothing.
Man Strikes Back.
There we go. Chocolate Man strikes again.
Yeah. So, I had mixed feelings about this one. Not like any grand mixed feelings. It was just it existed. I kind of liked the differing like chess game that the pair had, where they're trying to outmaneuver one another using everyone that they've kind of brought on board as pieces, or at least that's what Grodic does. He uses Flit, he uses Zalam and Araba, and all this little things where they prevent further escalation into an actual big fight. It's a very interesting thing to watch. The only issue that I have is Zalam and Araba still feel pretty undercut whenever they're used to, do the big good thing, because their conflict was never really fleshed out. It's just a problem that's gonna, well, it sticks around and it permeates their entire existence, unfortunately.
One thing that I would say is pretty nice about these episodes is, this specific episode was that we kind of slept on the Chocolate Man at first. First, I thought it was just goofy Zenigata guy who's like a federal inspector, but turns out he's actually a captain, and a competent one at that.
And a competent one at that, yeah.
Like the beginning scene where he throws out the flash bombs, and then he has all of the Genoases surround the launch hatches
surround
of
the
Diva. Like I thought that was brilliant.
That was really clever, yeah. Also, I love how he has a guy on his bridge whose job it is specifically to give him chocolate.
Yeah.
Johnson, open up the case. I need another bar.
Maybe he has like a hyper advanced metabolism or something, and so he has to always have calorie input.
Yeah, otherwise he dies.
Or he fucking dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the X-Rounder prototype.
I will say
he's that brand of smooth brain.
Alright. This is something that I actually just realized that just clicked for me. And I don't think any other Gundam series does this, per se. No, Gundam The Origin does it, sort of. This is kind of the first time where we see a battle be fought on, well, a 3-dimensional space, as space would be. Flit is coming up from high above the ships and attacking from there, and then the Araba and Zalam ships are underneath the Federation forces. It's not all that big of a thing, but it kind of caught my attention, because generally speaking, in Gundam, people are fighting on like the same plane, or the ships are so far out of reach, it's irrelevant because it's just mobile suits fighting.
Also later
it's 2011 and they can animate it that way now.
Yeah.
Later on in that fight, we see the ships actually tilt up and down.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like, dude, I would just love to see a actual Gundam series where, yes, there's the ships coming just directly up, like.
Hey, maybe we'll luck out and they'll do a scene like that in Witch of Mercury. But speaking of the ships in the formation, how awesome was it when Grodek like fakes the charge, right? Like they think he's gonna ram him, and he purposefully misses, and then Zenigata immediately knows what's going on about faces, and they all start bombarding the UE together.
Yeah.
Nobody had to inform anyone of anything.
They
Everyone
just
was
got it.
instantly on the same page. That was great. That was
It's
like one of the coolest battle scenes I've seen so far in this piece of shit.
It's little moments
Yeah.
like that shows that the Gundam Age writers have some restraint. Like,
And they also have competency.
yeah, because like typically in like your average kid show, they'd have to say like, oh, he's doing this maneuver and blank blank blank, but no, there was no words exchanged, and it was a very like, ah, yes, this is what he's doing, and then they immediately hop on the same page.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it is, in a vacuum, a pretty cool sequence and scene. Again, though, it is just undercut by Age not really having any sort of bite when it comes to these differences that have been plaguing the setting for so long. And if those were properly fleshed out, it could have been frickin' great. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And I understand that it's a kid's show, right? So you do have to kind of grade it on a curve. The problem is that kids aren't stupid. It makes that entire sequence not as fun as it could have been.
Yeah, because Flit is this weird uniting figure for some reason.
Yeah,
He can do no wrong, but he also does nothing.
yeah, that. So, all in all, the episode is fine. It wraps up things and segs. It gets us into the
Segue.
yeah, segue. There we go. I
It
can
gets us
say
into
things.
the war of bat extermination.
Which is a really
That's a
weird
metal
way to
cover
note that
album.
down in the history. Yeah, that's what that is. That's not a way you notate this down in history books for future generations. That's
Dude,
that's
hell
what
yeah.
the staff officer's death metal band calls the concept album.
Dude, if I was a history major, I'd totally name events in history cool crap like that. It'd be memorable.
And yeah, we move right on into the final 3 episodes, unless you guys have any final parting thoughts for that episode.
No.
Particularly,
It's not great.
It's
It's not bad. Had some neat moments.
yeah, I think it was actually pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah.
If this was in a standalone vacuum, it'd be up there. But it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
If it didn't have Age dragging it down. Yeah. It's sort of like that the wing problem of I can see the cliff notes. I know what you're doing. God, I wish you did it better.
I'm gonna
Zenigata spin-off manga? Question mark?
I'm gonna come up with an acronym for Age that has to do with souls being weighed down by gravity. Give me an episode or two. I'll think of something.
No, it's
But,
the advanced genocide engine, as these last 3 episodes taught us.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Where do we start?
So we'll start with, this isn't at the beginning of the episode, but it was something that struck me quickly, is when the battle kind of begins, we see, Redhead Man. I'm not gonna say his name, because I keep saying it wrong. His suit has a actual Age beam rifle, and initially when I saw this, I was gonna get mad and grumpy, because I thought it was just the Age's beam rifle. So I'm like, wait, why aren't you producing this for everybody, so everybody can actually kill things?
And then
They zoom out and they do exactly that. So
yeah,
like, credit
they,
where it's due, you got me.
they don't say anything, but the implication is that when they hacked the Age builder to modify the Diva, which we'll get to, they also hacked it so that it could make Dodds rifles for everybody.
Yeah.
And they did. And so
that was a lot of
Largan and all the goon squads got to kill people, and it was great, because I like Largan. He's fun.
Yeah, it was kind of cool and satisfying to see. I'm like, oh, wow, you're doing something with this concept that, though I don't like it, I do like what you just did. Cool. But to kind of wean this back, the little character moments before the battle were
That we usually see toward
at the end of a series.
Yep.
Yeah. What we usually see at the end of a series were actually quite quaint. Though the character writing isn't very strong per se for Age, I will admit there is more character writing in this than a lot of other series. and they give everybody their sort of moment in the sun and their due. Like, Redhead Man and Wolf.
Largan. Largan is his name.
Largan. I don't care. Redhead Man.
Oh,
Red Man! He's
my
gonna come
favorite boy!
He's gonna come kill those kaiju.
Damn right. He's gonna come for Akane and make me sad. But, right. So, they have the conversation because he's still, Redhead Man is still hung up on Millie. And he just asks, the conversation naturally progresses into him going, hey, Wolf, do you actually care about her? And Wolf goes, nah, man, I live for battle.
Yeah, my girlfriend is a pretty white lady who's 50 meters tall. Or 50 feet tall.
And Wolf kind of cements this by going, you have a long life ahead of you. Don't blow it. Don't die out there. In not so many words.
Yeah, because Wolf is good people.
Yeah, it's
surprisingly.
Cute. Well, it's not cute, but it is nice, and it's a very human adult interaction.
Also, Millie having that moment with Emily was really good.
Yeah,
that was my favorite one.
Yeah. Do you guys want to explain it?
Go ahead, Dingle. You brought it up.
Yeah, no, it's just a scene in the locker room as they're getting ready, and Millie is talking to Emily as she's helping her into her normal suit? Question mark. I don't know what those things could be
I think they call it.
as.
It's the ship use non-pilot normal suit, which apparently aren't made to accommodate breasts? Question mark.
Yes, fun fact.
She has. They're
we
male
are
only
1,000
for some
years
reason.
in the future, and they have still not made unisex uniforms. But anyways, they're just having a nice conversation.
They should have been on that Next Generation life where the men are also wearing skirts. Just very weird looking.
Heck yeah, but Grodek in a skirt. The man
skirts of power.
But yeah, no, they're having a nice conversation, and she's just like, hey, I don't really feel like I'm doing much. I don't feel strong. Everyone else is out there fighting, and what can I do? And then Millie's like, just keep up what you're doing now. That support is what people need.
I don't know why they keep giving Emily all these good scenes and then doing nothing with her. At all.
Yeah, because she does not pop up for the rest of those episodes.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that much is fair. And that could be like the foundation of something that happens with her during that segment of the story. But I guess the idea of the character being kind of self-aware of the fact that they're doing nothing and being hung up on that fact is kind of neat. I think there's something there, but again, the show doesn't really lean into that too heavily, which is a shame. But yeah, no, that was a cool scene too.
Adams gets to look at his locket of his mom, and he's like, I'm gonna take you on a trip when I come home, mama.
Oh my god, death flags were raised so high.
Yeah.
And then he lived.
Yeah, that blew my mind. Like, first off, you're
the only black guy.
Yeah, you're the only black guy in a Gundam show. You're looking at your mama's locket. I don't need to articulate how dead you are. And he lives!
I think it's the guy on the bridge with the glasses who gets killed.
Who gets turned into Swiss cheese later.
A guy that we know nothing about.
Hey man, Adam's mom.
And they brought the blood back for that too.
She's a powerful lady, alright. She made sure her son was gonna come back home to take her on that trip.
Mama Adams, wherever you are, God bless you.
You know what? Maybe we just missed a pretty crazy subplot that just never got written in, where the guy with the glasses is actually Forrest Gump, and like we're now seeing how Forrest Gump would have played out if Bubba lived instead of Forrest.
Oh, dude, that's the sequel movie I need.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, if there was a Gundam series that didn't have any mecha, but that just followed a side character going home and trying to live a civilian life, I'd read the ever-living shit out of that.
Yeah.
Bandai,
take notes. Actually, don't. If you're here, leave immediately.
If you're here, don't copyright strike me and take down my videos again. Sorry, what, Tingle?
I was just saying they just have extreme gigantophobia now. So like as they're going into the city for their first time on at the job, they just look at the skyscraper and they're just like, oh.
I'm surprised more people don't have like mobile suit phobia.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people just move into small villages because they're just like, ooh, big things give me anxiety now.
I mean, I guess when your show exists to sell toys of said giant robots, showing people having
Utterly horrified
by their presence is probably not that good.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
you know,
I mean, the only series that really did that got canceled early. Hi, X.
Sadness.
Da 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 da.
Even X doesn't really do it.
They do at the beginning. Like they show the terror and fear of the civilians, and
That's because the guy's pointing a gun at them, less than just mobile suit in general,
no, but
though.
even then, like no other series really does that. It's really the closest we have to it.
Yeah, I guess.
And
Go watch
closest-
X. X is awesome.
Yeah, do that. You have good Grodic and good Yurin. Ugh, that's a bad sentence.
That's a really bad sentence, and how dare you soil Tifa Adil's name by comparing her to Yurin the Seal?
Look, man, I'm not gonna sit here. First off, I did the same thing to Jamil. All right, like
Yeah, but Jamil is cool enough to like let that shit slide off. Tifa, you must protect.
I will by never showing her age, but you goddamn know what they were trying to do.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, maybe
She's supposed to be former Asame, not Tifa Adil, but moving on.
No, nah, man. She's a mixture of Tifa, Stella. She's a mixture of all of the Gundam girls that died.
Yeah, well, Tifa doesn't die.
I know, but she's freaking coded to be like her. She has
little
that
bit,
like happy
yeah.
demeanor. She has that first battle in the Gundam with Flit. Like it. There are too many things that line up. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Yeah, fair enough. Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like Yurin.
That's
another
don't
weird
like Yurin
sentence.
either.
Factual,
Maybe.
but weird.
You wanna know why I don't like Yurin? She is probably the single dumbest Gundam girl to ever exist.
Yes,
So, one thing.
they totally botch her kidnapping.
Yeah.
Did you not see the last thumbnail? That's accurate.
Yeah. Yurin. Okay, so there's a
lot to unpack here.
There's a lot to get into here. I theoretically, right, enjoy what they do with her. If you're gonna do like the Lala death but twist it, this is how you do it. Unfortunately, they mess it all up from the very outset. So Dezel has this big old crazy plan to manipulate and screw with Flit, right? He's gonna go grab Yurin and use her against him. Now, for reasons. And the rationale, he basically goes, you're gonna do this. And the rationale that's apparently given off screen is that she goes with Dezel. She allows herself to be kidnapped because she doesn't want Flit to die and wants to see Flit again. Despite this guy clearly wanting to do Flit harm.
Have you looked at that little midget's face? You knew he was gonna do something bad.
I hate this kid. I hate this kid so much.
Oh, we'll get to
And
him
not
in
for
a
the
moment.
reasons the show wants me to.
We'll get to him in a moment, but you could have done this any other sort of way, where it's unnecessary what they did. Yurin could have just been bonked on the noggin, kidnapped, and then thrown into the machine. And that's it. That's all you have to do.
Yep.
But they made her a willing participant, and it ruins everything that they were trying to do.
Yep.
Yeah, literally the only thing they had to show was just Yurin getting bonked over the head and just dragged out.
Or shit, her stepdad's in on it. You literally just could have had him be like,
Take the girl.
Yeah, you could have done literally anything other than that, and it would have worked.
yeah,
But no.
it's
But no, she was like, "Oh, I get to see Flit again. I'm 100% down with this."
But yeah, so and another sort of logistical problem that they have is, so they put her inside of a mobile suit, and they explain a little bit what X-Rounders are. They basically get stronger the more of them are present in a given area.
They are JoJo stand users.
They are smooth brains. Their stupidity compounds.
Yeah. And what Dezel's plan isn't bad, like, theoretically. And they still want to do the Elmeth thing and probably keep Dezel alive for future ages. So they can't put them in the same machine. So they put her in a different one. Fine, I'm cool with that. But one of the issues is this suit, other than being just kind of ugly as sin, with a weird platform thing it's hovering around.
It's supposed to be like a flower girl, kind of, and it's wearing a hood. The Farja is weird and ugly.
It's not a fan. But basically, it's meant to float and be around Dezel and serve as like a funnel weapon suite to assist him in his battle against Flit.
Yeah. I think how it works is she can pilot it, but Dezel has overriding control whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see,
which is weird.
What I would have did with this is I would have put Yurin inside of Dezel's machine as like a weird pack. So like to play off of like a parallel between him and the Age. So like it's like a funnel pack type thingy that Yurin is specifically in. It's on the back and it's like, yes, we saw what you do with the Age, so we're gonna copy it, except we're gonna put your girlfriend inside of it. And it makes the battle a little bit more intense because Flit wants to kill Dezel, but he can't because his girlfriend's on nearby.
I will say, like, what they actually do with the fight, I really do enjoy. Is, it plays out, and they do a swap of what happens with Amuro and Char, where Amuro gets really pissed at Char, is about to go kill him, and Lala gets in the way, causing that trauma. Again, if you're gonna flip it, this is how you do it. They have the battle be progressing, and and Dezel is about to finally get maybe the edge. Unfortunately, the Age one is too tanky for me to say that he was gonna get the edge, but theoretically, got the edge on Flit, and right before he goes in, Yurin takes control of the unit, and she gets in the way and dies. It works. I think it's interesting, because Flit and Amuro, though they're meant to be kind of similar, they do have their own things going on. It's underbaked, but Flit is tired of people dying in his life. He's tired of all this stuff being, having to let go. And at this 11th hour, once more, he loses somebody he cares about, and it works. Whereas Amuro, he doesn't really have that going on. His entire story is different when it comes to the 1 Year War. It's interesting thematically. It's interesting as a concept, and I can understand, like, going forward, why Flit would be utterly done with these alien bastards. He just wants to kill them all.
Yeah, like, we see Flit after post-battle with Dezel. He's just like, fuck it. And he goes Titus mode, and he's just like, and breaks the Titus in a fit of anger, which was stupid, but I like it.
It was a sensible stupid. Like, the character just made a bad decision, but it's not like it was on purpose from a writing standpoint.
Yeah, no, it was like...
Also, because we have to get rid of the Titus, so that it's just the H1 normal versus the Big Zam.
Yeah, so, all in all, the scene, I think, could have worked really well. The bad relationship aside with Yurin, I think all of this could have worked well because they put in the effort to try to establish it. And if it played out without Yurin being really stupid, I think it could have worked extremely well. But they had an unnecessary step.
Yes.
Okay. We need to talk about Dezel. And Dezel sucks.
Dezel sucks a lot.
I get where they're coming from. They're coming from this like weird Kylo Ren stance of like, yes, he's man-child, but this is an actual child, so it's just like...
he's a literal child.
This
Doesn't
work.
work.
It doesn't work in that manner, yeah.
Here, before you get into your rant, Zai, I'll just say my stance on it real quick. There are two conflicting ideas with this little ship. It is hyper-competitive, petulant child who is kind of disconnected from what he's doing, right? You have that. And then you have this manipulative, vindictive murderer. They're two ideas that I don't think work together well at all.
Not when he's 7.
Literally.
No, even if he... No. Even if he's 7. Actually, the first idea, where he doesn't, like, the disconnect. He literally can't comprehend what's happening.
That works. But...
Like, that
just full stop right there. If that was all it was, awesome.
Yeah.
That would work great.
It'd work. Where he's just a cruel, weird, crazy, competitive little guy. Because,
He doesn't know any better.
Kids
and the
are
people
cruel,
who know
Jack.
him are using him.
Yeah.
Kids are cruel, Jack.
Kids are...
I'm
Yeah.
in touch with my inner child.
Yeah, and what they did with him initially kind of worked. But now he's getting into this big brain,
Machiavellian.
like, mental manipulation crap with Yurin, and it doesn't work. Because it conflicts with the idea of him just, like, he's... Yeah, you know what, you go. We have the same thoughts on that matter, I think.
Yeah, okay, so the problem here with this kid, who is Arshar Aznable for this arc, just let that sink in, is a 7-year-old kid. He is the youngest character, to my knowledge, to ever step into a mobile suit and be the designated pilot of a mobile suit in the franchise. Which, we're in a kid show, fine. By itself, not a terrible thing. However, he doesn't act like a 7-year-old. He did at first, which is where he wasn't aware of what he was doing, everything was a game to him, and he threw temper tantrums when he lost, but then somewhere along the line, the writers decided that that wasn't menacing enough, and so now he hates Flit specifically, and wants to destroy his life, and is this manipulative, sociopathic murderer.
He's on some Patrick Bateman shit.
Yeah. You can't be that way at 7. Your brain is not developed enough to have to fully rationalize things like this, first of all. Second of all, I, as a member of the audience, find it really, really, really hard to enjoy hating a child that you've already established is being used and doesn't understand what's going on.
You're not on the child hating life, for shame.
Yeah.
I love kids. I absolutely love kids.
I just go to schoolyards and punt
You shouldn't say that out loud.
What, me or Boo?
You.
Ooh.
It's the smiling friends
Jesus.
kid of, I love kids.
Jesus Christ. But, so, what the show wants me to do with him, I can't do. And what I want to do with him, I can't do. So he's just this mismatched fart of an unengaging, uninteresting character who sucks my suspension of disbelief right out the frickin' airlock whenever he's on screen.
You see, what I would have did with this scene specifically, I would have went with the angle that, like, instead of Dezel being Machiavellian mastermind, he's like, no, I got a new playmate for us, Flit.
Yeah, exactly.
You already know.
That would have been great. And the hell of it is, if that is how he went about it, that would have been way more menacing than what we got.
Yeah.
Which was what they were going for. They
Like,
were trying to make him really scary. That's why they did this in the first place.
You're dealing with someone who reason cannot work with, who is filled with unintentional malice. Like, the intentions aren't malicious,
Yeah.
but the thought process is so freaking alien that it just, you can't, when you're dealing with someone who isn't, like, who doesn't have normal, rational human thought, to me, that's kind of scary.
It is
When
scary.
you're in a setting where people are being killed. It's like, no, I won't get into that. It's a frightening concept.
And you
They could have did it. They didn't.
want to know why I think they didn't too? And this is the hell of it. They didn't because I think they want us to be totally on Flit's side with this. There's no gray area now. Dezel is literally the worst.
I think,
See,
I could see that.
Yeah.
They want us to be 100% on the Flit camp, that he is the hero, he is a good guy. Now, I know they probably tap into this later on in the later parts of Age, where we find out that, no, what Flit's doing isn't all, peaches and candy, but we have this point of, like, right now, where they could have this moral ground be popping up more and more, but...
And they try, but you just fucking undercut it with the murder kid.
Yeah, like, literally, like, the Shara Aznable, the big rival, there's no moral ground there. Moral gray ground.
Yeah.
Which is the kind of point, like...
That's the
we
point
have the moral
of
gray
Shara
ground.
Aznable.
We have the moral gray ground with Yark Dole and that later.
And his son.
But we don't have it with the main rival, which is just like, come on, guys.
I'll say we don't even have it with like the villains at large, which I think might be a good segue to talking about that.
Well, they try. We don't have it. You're right, but not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the UE, which we find out their name is Vagans.
Vagans.
They're
Martians.
It's something I just thought about while we were talking about Dezel. I was like, okay, they have this reasoning and like they believe they're just and right. But you have a 7-year-old piloting a death machine.
Yeah. Can we?
Obviously,
also,
you don't care that much.
You have
about
another
your people.
7-year-old in a battle zone because his dad couldn't put him off into daycare for some reason. Because Yarkdol's his dad.
Yeah, or
Take
just
your kid to work day.
leave him on Mars.
But let's before we get into what actually happens in Ambot and the things that happen with our cast members, let's talk about the Vagans for a second. Because I think this is absolutely worth A, going over because this is the first time we're introduced to it, and B, from the word go, it's pants on head retarded.
Yeah.
So let's iron this shit out. So
the Vagans.
Yes.
They were
Vagans.
Martian colonists who got exposed to Mars rays.
Yeah.
And 20% of their population died. And
which is a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
It's a lot of people. Really hard to deal with.
And the Earth Federation effectively abandons them and covers up the incident and says that they all died and nothing happened.
Right.
And so now they're pissed.
Comma, this was 150 years ago.
Yes.
That's kind of important to mention.
Now they're pissed, and they have spent their entire industrial resources to develop a big space station outside of Mars, and then also to develop these mobile suits to go randomly attack Federation colonies.
I think
because they want to get back to
Earth. I think the space station was there to begin with.
But
no. In the flashback, they show it being built.
Oh yeah.
So either A, I'm misunderstanding, or B, there's there may be more to that. We won't touch their technology is for some reason far more advanced than everyone else,
even though they were struggling
out
to
in the
survive.
sticks.
Yeah, and they have an industrial complex that rivals a solar system. You guys said when we've kind of talked about this in the past that there is an explanation, so we'll leave that be for now.
But just at face value, the Earth Federation abandons your colonization effort, right? You have no way to get home. So you build up this entire industrial base, and what do?
Wage war against them.
Why? Why don't you just go home?
Yeah, like Earth isn't that far away from Mars.
Well, that's
especially with this tech. It's not that far away.
Yeah, the other question is too, I presume they had ships and stuff that took them out there. Why didn't they just jump in them and go
the fuck back home?
Yeah, only thing they had to do was, I can understand if the Earth Federation was like, nah, y'all can't come here because you probably got that nasty disease. We don't want none of it.
Yeah, if there was just a scene or a further little bit of line of dialogue where he went, and when we tried to return, the first of us were butchered and killed because like the Federation did a quarantine because they didn't want this disease sparked by those rays to spread. Okay, not only does the Federation not look pants on head stupid and evil, but like both sides are clearly, a lot of mistakes were made. This is the foundations for a good, like, long-standing hatred. But that doesn't happen. It's literally the Federation just goes, bye!
Yep.
And
they're like, we hate you now.
Yeah, the Vagans go, we hate you, we're gonna just... It's wacky. It's too wacky.
What I would have did with the Vagans, I would have placed them out near Jupiter. There's a significantly bigger distance there. Because I can look at Mars, and if there's a superstructure that big, you'd be able to see that through a telescope from Earth.
I mean, like, we know that the Earth Federation in Age is completely inept.
The Earth Federation, or really any civilian, could look up at Mars and be like, huh, what's that thing orbiting Mars?
Dingle. Inept. Capital INEPT. Inept.
Yeah, but
unless,
everyone.
No, there is one way they could get away with hiding it. It's stationary, and it's on the other side of the planet.
Okay, fair. That's a fair cop.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We don't know.
We actually do, because it's on the light side of the planet. And it is geosynchronous.
Crap. Well, I tried.
So
it doesn't move. We see it later.
Often,
we get to see inside it.
You see the Martian eclipse whenever Mars is in the sky. You're like, huh, why does Mars have an eclipse now? Who knows? Couldn't be anything that we have to worry about.
Suddenly the NSA shows up. You're not going to worry about it.
Oh, man. But yeah, there's a lot of just unnecessary evil, vindictive nonsense that happens, which
because Flit has to be right.
Which makes, like, I am all aboard with exterminating every last one of them, because I don't have a reason not to be.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, the Federation are bad.
But you guys are goons. You literally waste like 150 years just to show up and randomly kill people.
And you couldn't design better spacesuits.
Not even like Federation like strategy points. No, we're just blowing up colonies just cause.
Yeah, we're just gonna
kill as many people as possible.
And we're gonna take our sweet time doing it.
And we're gonna put self-destruct buttons in our mobile suits so that they don't find out it's us.
I don't get it. I do get it. It's dumb. Just, it's one of those things where it's kind of like what Zai said a few times, the show being tone deaf. I feel like when genocide is a sensible course of action against our antagonists, we've done something wrong in a Gundam series.
Correct! We are going to continue to do wrong things for a very long time.
And it's just like, you know, like...
Enjoy.
The scene where, like, looking back at it now, like, since we get this information after Flit fights the pseudo-Zam, I'm just like, now looking back at that scene, I'm just like, hell yeah, Flit. Chase after that guy. Go get him. He's a dumbass. He deserves it.
Flit, I'm gonna try and melt this guy with a beam saber. Asuno.
Yeah, let's talk about that fight real quick. There's not a ton to
The adequate
cover.
Zam.
Yeah, the adequate Zam.
It really should have been a Dendrobio. It looked like one. I thought it was gonna pop out and they'd have like a cool high-speed dogfight in the interior after he blows it up.
Or if they wanted to be based, to be the the thing from 00 or 08 MST.
Yeah, the big.
Oh, the Obsolus, where it just has a giant.
Yeah.
With the big ass cannon, just a big ass gun. I think it does have a big ass gun in this.
Well, it does, and it has like I think it has like a dorky little head on top of it too.
Yeah, it has a torso.
It has a whole Vagan mobile suit torso up there.
And
then just
weird.
legs and gun.
It's the weird nuclear of Vagan suits.
But I thought for certain, because I'm like, all right, Flit's in a bad way of it. He just made a mistake with the Titus. Okay. Oh God, Wolf is going into there. All right, hold on. Something's gonna happen. Wolf is gonna die.
Nope.
Because either A, he's gonna do the Slegger Law thing, and, you know, bite it to save Flit, because he made a mistake in his aim. Because at this point, Flit is pissed. He is done. He may not... No, he is murderous. He is pissed, done, murderous.
He is actively trying to kill every single Vagan he sees.
And for some reason, he doesn't kill Dezel. Can't explain that one.
There's no explaining it. The show needs Dezel to be alive for the next arc, so he gets to live.
Yeah. but Dazzle's Flit's out for blood, and Wolf goes in after him. And I thought, yeah, it was gonna be the Sliger thing, or, and this happens a little bit later, where I'm like, oh, they're gonna do something wicked with this. Because are they gonna do something wicked that ties into this sort of theme that they established badly with the Vagan stuff? So Flit, after beating down this machine, forces the guy to retreat on foot. And Flit tries to murder the guy with a beam saber, which I thought was great.
Yep, it was fantastic. He shoved it right in the door, and if Wolf wasn't
Right
there, he
through
would have
the
turned
door.
it on.
I would have loved it if that worked. I won't lie, every time I see just gore on the level of what Uso does,
Yeah.
it makes
There's-
me giddy.
There's a little bit of it in Age too. Like every now and again.
Yeah.
Like when they're they turn dudes into Swiss cheese and you see all the blood from their bullet wounds.
Oh yeah.
Or in the first episode when the old man was bleeding out.
the guy with the glasses who, because Grodek and his team are also infiltrating this base on foot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the whole bridge crew is going in there with assault rifles, by the way. Grade
The guy-
A, no Marines. We have to take Adams, Millie, and everybody else instead.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses, like, he runs, he opens up the door and walks through and just gets obliterated.
Yep,
Yeah.
by the fucking auto turret. Also,
But,
reminder, just because I don't think we brought it up before. They did this while the Diva's heavily damaged, and Largan has one arm and is standing there alone defending it.
After the thing transformed.
Oh, right, we totally forgot to talk about that.
we missed that. It transformed. It
It
looks
turns
neat.
into white paste.
Yeah, I liked
lame.
it. I don't like them calling it the Trojan Horse. I thought that was dumb. The ship looks better in my opinion. But
I mean, yeah, it looks better, but it's still just fucking white base.
yeah. However, what I thought was going to happen, especially because this is they coincide this, where Grodek is talking to Vagan Man, learning all this
Yark Dole.
information. I do not care.
The Shadow Merchant.
This guy, Mr. York, Mr. Third World.
Mr. Yeah, seriously,
There's-
he has
there's-
like a fucking WWE wrestler mask on all the time.
There's going to be like one person that understands why I called him Third World. I appreciate you.
I get it.
I don't. You'll have to explain it to me later.
It's a dumb British joke. But so right, what I thought was gonna happen is Flit
Oh,
is
York.
looking for this guy to as he's looking for the guy to kill him with his tiny little gun. He's going through these dark, winding hallways, and Wolf is in hot pursuit. What I thought was gonna happen, because this coincides with what Grodek is talking to with York, is like blind, angry rage getting the better of him, Wolf turning the corner at the wrong time, and Flit freaking shooting and killing him. It just would have reinforced this entire idea of blind hate being bad, and hopefully pull Flit back from the brink, because he just lost. The Vagans have been a source of Flit losing everything, and in his own hatred and rage, he kills Wolf, losing someone else. So that could be like a pseudo lesson to him, a very harsh lesson, where it's not necessarily the Vagans who were taking things away, but it was people's unchecked hatred and anger. And you could have had an interesting dynamic there, because Grodek is just all on that I'm gonna kill him all life, for pretty justified reasons.
Yeah. Oh man, even when he shoots the guy and he goes up to his kid and he's like, "I killed your father. Your life is going to be nothing but pain and revenge."
You know what? Okay.
That was a little too far
I'll get back
from
to what
my
I was
taste.
saying.
That was just like, okay, we get it.
I disagree, because I think it comes down to interpretation. What I view that as is more so him admitting what he just did to himself,
I've become the thing
more
I hate.
than being, I've become the thing I hate, more so than malicious. And the reason I say that, in the context of Age 1, I don't know what happens going forward, but in the context of Age 1, the reason I think Grodek realized he did wrong, and he's kind of punishing himself for that, is he's setting this kid up to come kill him. And at the end of the episodes, he submits to Federation authority and gets imprisoned, and he just accepts it. And he seems content with that fact, as if he wanted to be punished for what he did. that's my interpretation and why I could actually really dig what he said.
And the Federation once
I don't know
again
about you
covered up
guys.
his actions.
Yup.
Yeah.
More on that later.
But yeah.
We're not done
what
with
if-
that little tidbit.
I really hope they use Yarkdale's kid later on. Like, for real, for real. Like, if they let
I
it go to
don't
waste, I'm
remember.
gonna be very salty. Because I'm just
I
like,
seen-
you set up a good antagonist for Age 2. Right there.
No, man.
I think he
You
gets an episode.
Actually, I'd say you just set up a perfect Quattro Vegeta. Like, because we have the
Nope.
Zeta. No, we have the Zeta equivalent coming, right? Dezel sucks. So now you have this kid who just had something awful happen before his eyes. He has every justification to do what our characters have just done and keep the cycle of hatred going. If he didn't, and he was basically the mentor to the next character, the mentor to, I
Seven.
guess, Flit's kid, because, I mean, it's Age, that's the theme of this, that's the
Yeah.
idea of the show.
Vanilla
I think
Ice.
that'd be cool. That's a really cool idea.
Nope.
And it would make this kid's inclusion, oh, okay.
Nope, it's Wolf.
Would it, like, you have something there.
Oh, time to
Why
raise Zai's
introduce
pitch a
this-
little bit more.
That's not
No.
a spoiler. We're gonna find
Nah,
that out in like
it's
10
we're right.
seconds.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler. It's
It's Wolf. Wolf is Quattro.
why introduce that kid?
He gets an episode later on.
An episode,
No, but
why?
you're gonna do so.
Why waste that?
Why an episode?
Because
Yeah, why
it's
waste that?
Age.
Damn it, Age.
That's how Age does things. Do you not
Uh,
understand this yet?
He is.
Why do you think I hate this show?
He is a character where you can do so much with that. So much. Because, like, he saw his father, you know, like, he comes into work with his dad. He thinks everything's gonna be normal. His dad's talking hot
We're just gonna
shit.
kill all the Earthlings.
He's like, you know, son, watch closely as we dominate these people. And then as he sees slowly and slowly that his father's plan isn't working, his father's like, well, I gotta go fight them, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, I gotta pull out the adequate Zam, kiddo. You stay here.
And then, you
Yeah.
know, when he comes back to see his dad, he's like, oh, my dad's finally back. His dad gets shot. And now he's just sitting there like, well, fuck. And then this guy with who looks like a capuchin monkey floats up to my face and says, yeah, I did it.
I killed your
Yeah.
papa.
And you know what? That could also like change what Grodik does within the context of the wider story. Like from a writer perspective, is that Grodik still does this, but if you have this character as the Quattro, it's basically it now becomes like a challenge where Grodik is challenging, saying, "I just ruined your life. I dare you to be a better man than me." I'd be all in for that. That sounds really cool to follow.
Yeah.
Damn it, my hope is crushed. Yeah,
There's more Grodik to come. So
Yeah, no, I know. I'm aware.
Yeah, and
Let's touch on that real quick. Federation cover-up.
so,
Gotta love how they don't learn anything.
yeah, the Federation
Totally
doesn't
retarded.
learn anything. They cover it up, and then we find out that this whole event has been cataloged by Millie, and that she's doing the cataloging of the truth of the history. She's probably going to sell it as a book in 50 years, but yeah, no, the Federation is just like, yeah, no, nothing happened. Don't worry about it.
Flit's not happy. Emily doesn't even get a word in the last episode for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I know that there needs to be a child following this. Do that... Anytime you're like the consolation prize for either a Gundam protagonist or like the girl who didn't get the Gundam protagonist, there is no way that's a happy relationship.
It is not a happy marriage. Thankfully, Age
Oh,
is not
boy.
so stupid to not talk about that,
Okay.
yes.
but it is not a happy marriage.
Scene of 10 years later, Flit still sniffing Yurin's bow. And
Well, no, he doesn't
Emily
have it
walking
anymore. He
in.
gave it back to her, and it blew up with her in the.
It's fine. He made one.
He got another one.
He got another
He
one.
got another
And
one.
he's just like,
He went back to her house and went through her drawers.
But you guys have any closing thoughts?
I feel that the show is overall, with Age 1 in a vacuum, this was a mediocre product. There was so much potential, that just was squandered. Overall, I have to give it the solid rating of a 4 out of 10. Actually, you know what? We're gonna drop it down and we're gonna put it down at 3.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna put it.
This is something I would not willingly watch again.
What about you, Zach?
Yeah, no, 3 out of 10 for me. I hated it going in. I now hate it in different ways. And some of the ways I used to hate it, I don't hate it anymore, probably because I'm older and less of a shithead.
Fair enough.
But it still sucks!
Yeah. Similar sentiments. I think 3 is a bit too low. Right now, this is just a below average show, so if 5 is average, 4. I'm also giving it a 4 because I suspect this will be the death of me. So we'll see what happens. I hear Age 2 is good, in, like, relatively speaking, so I'm looking forward to that.
It's the best part of the show. It's also where some of the most teeth-grindingly hateful shit occurs.
Ah, boy. But yeah. So I think we'll just wind this out now by just giving a big old thank you to all the patrons.
We love you! He loves you!
I do.
You guys don't pay me. Pay him.
Big old thank you to Columbi, Blackacre, Kekin, Keen Massenthrope, Josh, Spag, Joseph, Padden, Cubbies, Mace, Super Atomic Gunboy, The Single Way Out, Don, The Sound of a Distant Microwave, The Myth, Striker, Rogue, Shockfist, Death Scythe, Ken, Cephalodrane, Kyle Commissar, King Delirious, Father Quell, Matthew, Dan, Travis, and the voice of the Emperor. Going into Age 2, where I'm just going to be doing the patrons who are currently subscribed to it. But, yeah, either way, I hope you all had a good time listening to us yak about Age 1, and we'll see all you guys either for Age 2 or maybe something else. The decision hasn't been made. But, yeah.
Wait, you mean
Bye.
we could possibly be free?